Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fullstack for Noobs live stream, where Sally and myself are showing you how to build a full stack application. Now, you may be wondering, there's only one of them today. Well, Sally is just about to join us, okay? So I thought I would start off and give a recap of what we're doing. So I think this is the fourth show. So in the first three episodes, we talked about actually what we're going to build. So episode one, we looked at intent and why when you're using AI coding assistance, intent is really super important. And that allowed us to dive into what we're building. So we're building a game that is going to be a Q&A game, which we are hopefully going to show folks at AWS events, so at the AWS booth. So the game is an interactive game where you have effectively a board which is made out of hexagonal tiles. You start on the left, you need to go to the right through a path. Every time you take a step, you get asked a question. If you get it right, you can move on quicker. You move, the more points you get, and you get the idea, right? So we're building this, and in the first episode, we dive deep into what that might look like. In episode 2 and 3, Sally took us through the building of the front end, and we kind of left episode 3 on a bit of a cliffhanger, insofar as we got it almost working, but not quite. So the recap of where we are now is basically having used Kiro IDE to actually get us to a point where our front end now is almost complete. And it was a pretty good first stab. So when Sally joins us, we will sort of recap on the front end and go from there, and maybe start diving into the back end. So whilst that's happening, I'm going to bring up the actual game for folks to see. I'm just going to share my screen. Where window, and it's this one here. So there we go. So we can see this now. So this is the game. So in the first episode, we drew the architecture. This is what we're actually building, and these are ideas. Now we focused obviously on the first episode as well of the kind of the concept of vibe coding versus spec driven development, and how vibe coding is really, really useful and helpful, helping us refine our idea, experiment, and then bring that back into what we're actually building. And that allowed us actually to kind of create, let's get rid of these two, so we make it bigger. Allowed us to kind of create this. This is the architecture we ended up coming up with from that initial vibe coding session. Not code, just the kind of a solid understanding of what we actually need to build. And that allowed us to actually then kind of like start diving into kind of like creating some visual assets of what this game might look like. So for example, the home screen, kind of when you start a player game, and then the game screen, okay, which is where the hexagonal tiles. So this is as far as we've got so far. And now we're just basically going to carry on building the front end, and then probably make a start on the actual back end. In fact, actually, whilst we are waiting for Sally, maybe what we'll do is we'll actually start working on that. So let me just close that. Actually cancel. I'm not going to close that yet. I'm going to save it and then close it. Close window. Right. And now let me get my IDE up. So I'm going to start Hero and share my screen, share window, live screen, and there we go. So now we have my blank canvas. Okay. Now, when Sally started building his front end, he first of all focused on actually adding steering documents. And this is something that I always recommend, whether you're doing spec or vibe. And the front end was built in React. In fact, actually, let me see if I can find where that is. Is that this one here? No, it's not that one there. Right, this is what happens when you have too many instances of Kiro. Let's have a look. Live stream. Live stream quest. Okay. And I am going to copy his steering document. Is that the one? Yes, this is the one.
Hi, Jack.
Hello. Welcome. Part timer.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So I'm just basically giving an intro, and I'm actually now just basically taking a look at your steering file to add to mine. So I'm
Nice.
going to create a steering file.
Nice.
Create a steering file. It's all right. No worries. You just chill out, man. Just chill out.
I wanna clarify one misconception that people has about Germany, that like they are punctual. They are not. I waited 20 minutes to be able to get admitted to the doctor's office. So
well, you know the mistake you made. Okay, the mistake you made is that you didn't have your appointment at 2:30, right?
yeah.
So my rule, okay, when I'm going to the dentist, is if I can't get a 2:30 appointment, it's not worth going. Now that's a very bad dad joke, but I just love dad jokes, right? So okay, get so basically what I'm doing. So I've shared an update of where we are, and I'm just copying some stuff from your steering file, and I'm going to basically add my own. So what I talked about is that we've done the front end, although we haven't quite finished the front end. So we will go back to your front end, but I just started saying, like, I'm going to start working on the back end. And the back end, I've just started a fresh directory with a new instance of Kiro, and I'm adding my steering file. And I've said that whilst the front end was written in React, the back end is going to be written in Python. So I tell you what, have you got your are you ready to show us where we kind of like the cliffhanger that we ended up in last last episode 3? Because whilst you're showing that, I will then finish doing the steering document. So I'm going to stop sharing.
Okay. So I will just put this for a second to the charger. I was still in the UK thing.
Yes. I'm actually quite excited. I actually last night I bought a new Mac. So it's an M1. It's not a new. It's a secondhand. I don't like to buy brand new things. I like to buy secondhand things. So I bought a brand new, a secondhand M1 from someone local. So I think I got a good deal, and he got a good deal. And so it's got a completely fresh install of Tahoe. And you know that feeling when you have a brand new machine and you think, what do I install first?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm now going through that process. And interestingly, the first IDE I installed, was not VS Code, and it wasn't Kiro. Okay.
Is it PyCharm, or what was not PyCharm? So what was it called?
It was Zed. I installed
Zed. Zed, really? Oh my God.
I love Zed. Zed is awesome. I'm really growing in love with it, and I just love it. So it's really weird. I'm about to install Kiro afterwards, but Zed was interesting. I kind of like that. I kind of instinctively went for that as my first ID. The first thing I installed though was Homebrew. I installed Homebrew first so I can get everything I need, right? And then I spent too long configuring my terminal, right? So OMyZSH, themes, powerline fonts, all that kind of stuff, and I've now got a really beautiful terminal. So yeah, I'm buzzing.
What about Raycast? What do you think of Raycast?
What's that? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, like instead of using your, I don't know, like when you do command space, I don't know what this thing is called anymore. Like it is command something. I don't know. Let me share my screen and we can see everything.
Okay.
So share screen and the entire screen. Yeah, like YOLO, right? So Raycast is an app that you can install to replace what you have over here. It's a shortcut for basically whatever you want to use. And it is a better version of your search. It also has a lot of apps in it that you can freely or by paying install. This is for free to use, but you can also pay for it to have AI and everything as well. It is really cool.
Okay, so that's the first tool you would install, is it?
Yeah. This is what I would do. Like if I were to buy a new laptop today, the first thing that I would do is to install Raycast. Then of course do all the other tools
Okay.
that
Well,
I
I
would
will.
normally
I will
install
give.
as well.
I will give it a go because I've got a list. I've got a list of what I'm going through at the moment. You know, to install. But I will. I probably. You know, it's one of those things that you have to install the things you love, but you also have to install a lot of things that you need as well, right? You might not love, but you need them. So,
But this is something you would need. Like once you get used to it, it is hard to not use it.
right.
I think the one that I use the most among this app is actually the emoji finder. It is so nice, so easy to find. I
Oh
don't
my
need to
God.
deal with anything else. Like it is just there.
Well, you've
And
sold
that
me
is very,
there right away, Sally. You've sold.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. This is really cool. I just wanted to let you know if I were to do endorsements in products, I'm not, but if I was doing that, I would do it for this for sure.
cool, man. Cool.
All right,
I
so
just
let's.
I was messing around with. I'm not sure if people have seen these little things, these little LED badges. So
Oh
I
yeah,
made a little attempt to do a Kiro ghost.
nice.
Yeah. So you might
Let me
see me at
remove
a
myself so
conference
we can see
with
you.
one of these things. But yeah, I think I think it was at FOSDEM and they were giving them away. I think as prizes, and they're just so nice. You can customize. Anyway, we're going
How
completely off
much is
track now.
it?
So
No worries. Come on, we can do it.
we can
How
do it.
much was that?
No, they gave them away. They were giving them
Oh,
away.
okay.
So yeah. So I
Oh
grabbed
man.
one in purple, which this was like 2 years ago. So coincidentally, the right color, right? Because that's the Kiro color, which we love.
Yeah.
So just to recap,
Yeah.
while Sally's doing this. So this is the game board that we finished at the end of episode 3.
Yeah.
It was almost there, but not quite. We basically had an issue with alignment, right? The hexagons weren't
Yes.
quite aligned. And what we also did is after the show, I went through the same prompts that Sally did. Not quite the same, slightly
Yeah.
different. And actually, I mean, so I think what we did, didn't we used different models. You use Opus and I
Yes.
used Any.
Yeah.
And mine actually looked okay. I mean, yours definitely looked better. I will say yours looked better for sure, right? But mine still looked pretty damn good, I thought.
I mean, yours was definitely very good looking as well. For me, I just couldn't handle the fact that we can do great job with also other models as well. Why I just hang around with this like a spoiled child.
No worries, no worries. So this is what we got, right? So this is almost right, okay, but not quite, right? For a start, it needs to be almost like flipped, doesn't it? Because the screen needs to be wider than taller, right? Because I think we want to maximize. I think in my original design, I think we were talking about. I think actually, let me get that. Let me get that up so I can reference it.
Yeah, before you reference it, I just want to start an operation so we can continue with your reference.
Yes, let's do
One
that.
thing that I want to do is I just got a screenshot of the tiles. I will just give this to the Opus or to Cure here. And I'm not going to put any lines or anything.
You're not?
No.
Oh, that's controversial.
As I said, I want to do it as a last resort. I want to try this alone. I will explain why this is wrong.
Yeah.
Do it hopefully properly, and tell that first this needs to be flipped so we can have a proper game path in a more just rotated way. And more importantly, they need to align, so they need to look better. And one thing that I see as a problem here is like overall, instead of 1280 to 720, it seems like 720 to 1280. So it seems like it is not doing high. Yeah, and here's the thing though. I think it is doing what it's supposed to do, because from its perspective, I think it's height and width. But when we think about it, since we don't think it in the measurement terms, we think about it from the pixels, like 1 to 80 to 720 is basically actually the number of pixels. And when you multiply them, you will see every dot that is available on your screen, more or less, when you think from that perspective.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you what, back in the day when I first started, we used to have these little pads, right, graph pads, where we would actually draw every pixel, right?
Yeah.
But that was in the day when you had like 160 by 200, right?
Yeah.
And that was it. That was the entire screen, right? And that was manageable. Now I can't even there must be like thousands of pixels now, so that's just not scalable anymore. You can't really draw them out by hand, right?
Yeah.
But I still miss those days.
But I think right now we are just spoiled. I think right now we are just spoiled with everything the
Yeah.
technology gives us. Like we are talking about 4K as if it's nothing.
Yeah,
But
I do kind of wonder though, maybe stylistically, we could have gone for a pixel sort of retro 8-bit pixel style, and that would have made it maybe simpler. I don't know if I don't know looks wise. I really like the look of your one, so maybe let's keep going. But
we can do a spin-off out of it. Like when we are happy with what we have, we can do a spin-off out of it if it works out.
Yeah, exactly. We skin it, couldn't we? That's right. Yeah.
So here's what I would say. I would say like there are, you know what, like not even this one. I would just get the screenshot of everything that we have, copy this, and delete it so it doesn't have a place on my. Oh, nice. Very, very good looking.
Yeah, why did you do that? I think it's probably just because it's just not seeing that as an image, is it? It's building it as a vector or something.
No, okay.
Oh no, it's done it all.
No, it works. I think it was just a weird bug. Anyway.
Okay.
So what we are going to say is I would say I want to give some kudos to it as well. Like you did a good job on implementing our vision. However, it still lacks some important design aspects. First, when you implemented, let me remove this thing because it will annoy many people. I implemented 1280 720.
So whilst you're typing that, I'm glad that you were saying thank you and well done, good job, because I do the same thing, right? I always like to be polite to our potential future overlords, right?
Also positive reinforcement always works, This is what we have seen. So when you implemented one thing, you thought about height, width concept, but it should be with height. And the second thing is the tiles in the game board, they do not align. They should be properly aligned as if they are touching what do you like, for example, okay, I will ask for an English word because I don't know how it's called. So imagine a rectangle. What do you call this top or like side things?
Side, they're just called sides. So each side needs to be touching each side of the. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think as a developer, what we're struggling with here now when working with AI agents is not necessarily the semantics of the code, or even like knowing the methods and classes and parameters, right? It's actually knowing now the right words to use to describe something, right? Welcome to the new world of software development.
Yeah, exactly. Because we have to be crisp and clear at the same time, and AI doesn't get it much, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Logic of how we decide on how many items per column, though.
This is why whilst you're typing again, this is why I like actually, as good as your writing is on this, right? An annotated picture does it, I think, much quicker. So this is why I like to use pictures, because pictures make good context, right? And I think I think in this instance it's worth trying to see what happens, and hopefully, fingers crossed, Opus is going to sort this out, right? We'll soon see.
Yeah, I think there are like one thing that we need to understand is like when we look at a picture, we see we have a different understanding than, of course, AI or computers, right? They can measure each pixel from their perspective and understand, but them bringing the context together is their, I would say, challenge.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's so obviously it's working hard. It's thinking.
Yeah. It's thinking. It is working. It is editing.
So whilst Yeah, whilst we're doing this, so for folks who don't know Kiro, when you can see their accepted edits, right? You see there's two little icons there next to it. One which actually shows you the diff of the code. The other one allows you to undo it. So what I like to do is I like to kind of like sneak a peek at some of the code it's doing as it's building it, just so I can see whether it's actually done something what I was expecting, right? Most of the time it does. Sometimes it does something that I completely didn't expect, right? So it's important that you do that. Obviously, we're not doing that here because of time constraints, but when you are using this yourself, take time to look at the code changes.
Do you see what it says? It says the code looks good. It's really proud of itself. You know? The code looks good. Huh?
We'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, let's see. First, let's run it. If it's not making me happy, then we will discuss. You know,
exactly. That's
we will see how good it is.
Yeah, I mean, we're all for confidence, right? But
it was fun. One thing that I wanna, by the way, show to you is yesterday I added something new.
Oh, you did. Oh, you added something. Okay, right. This is new then. So this is a new steering document.
No, this is literally like what I did is I was reading some stuff on Reddit, and people actually have a lot of issues, especially with like any backend as a service thing that requires a secret on the front end side.
Yeah, I get that.
And they accidentally, you know, just push things or merge things. Then they need to revert.
I'm going to do a hot take here. I think you can put it in there, but for me, I don't think this is strong enough. I think this is the perfect thing for an agent hook in Kiro, and also, you know, configuring things like, you know, sort of kind of Kiro ignore file. So Kiro has supports this thing called the Kiro ignore file, and also the git ignore, right? So getting Kiro to configure both of those so that it doesn't do secrets is also going to be important. Now, look, this is not quite right.
No. It is some, like, I think it doesn't understand that, like, it needs to switch and push.
It needs a comparison. So I think so here's the thing. This is how I would approach this, Sally, right? I would say, look, this is good, but I need you to arrange the hexagons like this, and so provide an example of the image. So let me you know what, I think I might have even deleted it, which is a bit of a shame. I did have at one point have a reference picture. So let me see if I can find it. And if I can find it, then that is actually going to be what we can use. I can send it to you.
I will also show this.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
I think this is me. I think.
Well, let's see what I'm gonna just quickly create something in PowerPoint, and so what I'm gonna show. This is how I would do it, right?
Yeah.
So let's. I'm gonna share my screen so that basically people can see what I'm doing whilst that poor ghost.
Yeah.
Right, window.
All right, that's enough work.
Right, let's so what I'm going to do is this is how I would this is how I have done it in the past, right? So let's get the hexagon. So where's the hexagon? It's that one there. Make it nice. Let's do it so that it's empty, no fill, and a strong outline, because we want basically it to be really clear for the for Kiro to know. And then basically let's design this so that that's how we want it. And we can use, and obviously this is I'm not saying that you should use PowerPoint as a design tool, but it's just for these kind of things, it's really, really simple, right? And so we can kind of like get very quickly, we can kind of like build this like image, right? Actually, you know what? It's kind of, I think it's almost like a hive, right? So,
you know, like I think this is like, by the way, right now I just tried something new, but I think it is doing it already. Like I think it is.
Okay. Let's put that there. I'm going to basically just do this. So I'm going to send you this image.
Yeah.
Which basically now save this, close this, and how am I going to send this to you, Sally? Through the medium of Slack, I guess.
Can't you send it from the private chat in here? It doesn't work.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
private chat. Can I send attachments? It's just text, isn't it? I think.
Nah.
I'll send it. I'll
No
send it on
drag and drop.
Slack.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll send it on
Okay.
Slack because that way that'll be easier. I mean, Slack is used for lots of things, including
Yeah.
I mean, let's have a look. Downloads, Hive board. Right. So I've just sent that to you. So it's an image that is perfectly explained, I think, what we're looking for. But I'm just thinking before we do that, actually,
Yeah.
how about we try one more time, okay? And maybe the missing word is we want it to look like a hive, right? The layout should look like a hive because that's really what this hexagon layout looks like, right? And maybe actually then maybe it's a combination of using those words with that image, and maybe those two things together will help create the order. But I'm confident, having been in this situation before, I'm confident that the combination of the image and those words will fix the layout problem. Oh, what's happening?
I just tried something new. Like in the meantime, I had a very quick voice issue, but I just tried something different. But it didn't do what I wanted to.
No, come on, let's go. Let's try the hive approach. I think we're going to get success with this, Sally.
Give me one more. Give me one more try. I think like I know what the problem is. Like I think I know I solved the problem in my head properly, but like I know the image is going to solve it, and I know we are in a like hurry to finish this. But
I think it's more important that we show folks that different ways of attacking this, right? So go. I say go with it. Let's go with it, Sally. Yeah. Let's go with it.
Because right now, here's what I did. I said for every every even column, turn it 60 degrees. And as you see, the pointy side is looking up.
Okay, that's controversial. That's very controversial, Sally. You're deviating from the standard tile design, but let's go with it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and like 60 doesn't work. I think it's like 105. If it turns like or 90 degrees, like I think it will.
I think 90 degrees. Right. I mean, 90 degrees is that right? It's not, is it? Because if it's what are the internal angles of a hexagon? That's what I don't know.
Everything is 60. So like internal is in total 360, right? And from 360 every.
In which case we want to move it 30 degrees, don't we? In that case, we want to rotate it by 30 degrees by half.
Yeah, it's like it added a 30-degree rotation.
Right. Okay.
And what I will do is like maybe turn it into 45, and I will go.
I love how you're diving deep in this, right? We're going to know by the end of this, we're going to know way too much about how to prompt for hexagon board game designs.
Sorry. I just need to. So like right now we have rotate 30 degrees, right? And
Sally, are you hand editing code?
Yeah. Like let's do it. Let's do
it. So I think one thing important though, we can do that now and see it reload. But if you do this, one of the things I found, is that AI coding assistants still believe that they have it as 30 degrees, not 45. You do need to prompt it and let them know that you've manually changed it, right? There's no like automatic recognition of the fact that's changed.
Yeah, 100%. This is very important, by the way. Like the context that they have is basically around whatever they remember. It is super funny. Like this is, it is. Here's why it's funny. I said for the even columns, do this and this, and from its perspective, it is 0, 1, 2.
This is doing my head in.
Yeah.
I think, Sally, I admire your spirit in trying to solve this, but it's not working.
Back. Yeah.
Let's go with the image.
Yeah,
let's go with the image and say rearrange the tiles so they look like this image. We're going for a hive-like structure, right? Yeah. That's how we do it. And I'm convinced that this is going to work.
No, probably. Right now, I just need to open my Slack. In the meantime.
Okay, right. Okay, so for folks joining who maybe missed the beginning of this, we are on episode 4 of building a game from scratch in this full stack for noobs. I'm the noob when it comes to full stack. Sally is our resident guru and expert. The first 3 episodes really have been, first of all, focusing on what we're building and how we approach that using AI coding assistance. And episodes 2 and 3 have been starting with the front end and building a React application. leaving with a cliffhanger on the episode 3 of actually the board being almost there but not quite. And what we're now trying to do is trying to figure out how to get the game board, the tiles correctly aligned. So that's where we are, folks, if you've just joined. And Sally is now going to kind of take my advice, let's say that, and do something we should have done half an hour ago.
Yeah, but I will always take your advice.
No, it's okay, Sally. This is friendly banter.
So for me, it's really important that I really want to make sure that I don't need to just handhold this thing all the time. So I see the problem here. I really want to try one more thing, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, so I will go back. But I know that.
Well, who knows? My approach might be wrong as well, right? Who knows? So, but I think now, we have to at least try the image, just so that we can show people what the impact of that is, right?
So we have the image. All right.
Are you sharing your screen?
Nope. So there we go. Do you remember from last week?
We need to make sure that the prompt is also a good prompt. So we basically need to say that we want the game board or the tiles to look like the above layout, keeping the existing design elements, right, or components. I think that's is that the right terminology in React?
Yeah, keep the components as we have created.
Just change the layout.
Just change the layout accordingly.
Okay. I'm this is it.
It will work. Of course it will work. It will work.
Let's see what happens, right? Right. I see the image. Look, honeycomb. This is what we said, right? Arranged in a honeycomb pattern. Now, folks, right? So now that we've gone through this in the last 30 minutes, right? Perhaps if we had in the initial prompt specified that we want the game tiles in a honeycomb structure, I suspect that probably would have been enough, right?
Yeah, most likely.
And this is why you kind of do the experimenting. Oh, look, now update the SVG to be flat top hexagons. Oh, now that concerns me.
Yeah, let's see.
We didn't ask you to do that.
Luckily, we have the reverse.
We didn't ask you to do that. So we might. Now fix the overlay. Remove the rotation logic. Right, which the rotation logic. I love the idea.
Yeah, rotation logic. Yeah, sure. It doesn't scare me at all. It doesn't scare me at all.
Hexagon layout. But I've got a feeling now that it's basically convert these into a flat structure design, which I think is a problem. But we'll see, because maybe we can ask it to undo those the stylistic changes, right?
Yeah. We can always revert it. We can
always revert. Okay, which is also good. Right. Okay. Now, update the generate board function to use row-based layout instead of column. Oh, okay. So it thinks it's row. Interesting. Okay. Since the image shows a row orientation honeycomb, does it? Look at the image again. Does the image, if you scroll up, does the image look like a row? I don't see that as a row. I see that as columns.
But do you remember I saw it as a row?
I know. Okay, bizarre. Right. Okay, so now it's running accepted builds. The build is built, and now we can try.
It will commit it. Build passes. All right. While it commits.
No. That's just. I mean, that's worse.
Yeah, it is like. It is just, what happens? Like the edge of it is centered.
So actually, you know what? What it is actually, it's not worse. What it is they're too condensed.
Yeah.
So if they're spread out, so maybe what we need to add is say there needs to be a gap between each of the sides. Or maybe better, the hexagons shouldn't be touching, right, or overlapping. That's all we need, right?
Yeah. I will say right now, hexagons are overlapping.
Yeah.
They should not touch each other.
Yeah, maybe say have a 2-point or 3-point gap.
Yeah. Okay, here's another thing. Generally, the rule of thumb is using the multipliers of 4. So I will go with 4px. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good tip. So 4 is the magic number, not 3.
Yeah, you know.
So why is that, Sally? Why do we go with this multiplier 416? Sorry,
If I'm being
416.
honest, it is like how I believe in some greater powers. I don't question. I just believe.
Hey,
In
I'm all, I think
yeah, I
developers
believe in
like footballers.
design people and their powers. And
Yeah,
let them
totally. I'm with you,
explore.
man. I think developers like footballers are superstitious, right? You stick
Yeah,
to something, right? And whether it's a
yeah,
number or a way of doing something. So yeah, if it works, let's see.
yeah.
I got
Exactly.
a
If
good
it
feeling
looks
though,
good, it looks good, man. I'm not. I'm not taking myself onto a journey that might make me put it into the wrong place.
and I've got a feeling. I've got a good feeling though. I've got a feeling that this is going to fix it.
Let's see. Let me refresh. No, nothing happened.
Hang on, it's still doing. Actually,
But it is done now. Like it should be done.
it should be done, right?
No, it is not. I gave you the image as well. What are you doing?
Add a gap. Okay, done. It is done.
But like, where is the 4 pixel gap?
I think it's.
Let me question itself.
Well,
I
can
will.
you review the changes? Let's have a look at the code because it says view the 2 accepted changes. Let's just view it and see what it's done, because then we might be able to see.
All right. So one thing that it had added is
So it's created an algorithm around gap equals 4. So it's actually it's not changed the layout at all. All it's done is add some spacing, hasn't it?
Yeah. Here's the stupid thing that it did. I will just go to the XCAD draw to just draw something very briefly. If I can, let me see. All right, I will just.
Oh, I've not used this before. This looks cool.
Yeah, XCAD draw is a really nice one. And you know, when you see some diagrams that looks like handwriting, they use XCAD draw for this.
Oh, okay.
And so what it did was like basically when we have, let's say this is a hexagon, sorry. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It is. I do it with this, you know. And here's the thing that happened.
Welcome to Art with Sally. Today we are going to be drawing hexagons in the abstract style.
Yeah. It's like, oh my god. Please donate for better. better tools.
Please, we are collecting crayons for Sally so you can practice.
Yeah. So what this stupid thing did was like basically this gave a 4 pixel gap here, but also pushed it from here as well.
Well, it didn't ignore the overlapping thing, right? So
exactly.
I think
so
the focus
everything is just
pushed to the right. This is important, right? So I think here's the thing, right, Sally. I always say that get these things to do one thing at a time, not multiple tasks. So I think if we revert the change, revert the code change, and then this time basically just ask it to remove the overlapping, and that's it.
So I just want to do something like this now. You can see that the if
we remove the overlapping, right, that will fix the problem. That because what will happen is it will string out, because there's actually nothing fundamentally wrong with the layout. It just needs to be that way.
Yeah, and I'm just going to do. Yeah, I would just say right now hexagons are overlapping. Remove the overlapping.
That's it.
If it doesn't do this properly, next time I will just take a screenshot and ask, do you think this is the right implementation? This is what you did. Are you proud of yourself?
I mean, is it so, Sally? Do you think that these tools are, are good for doing things like this, or are there specialist tools that, for example, because we're using Kiro to do this, right? Are there like other like more visual design type tools that have AI coding assistants built into them that would think of this, like Figma? We mentioned Figma in, I think, one of the earlier episodes, right? Would Figma just know how to do this better than? Oh, look at this! Now
it is better, but we still have some.
But so now this is it, right? So we've lost. So we've not got overlapping, but the structure still isn't right. So I tell you what, I'm not impressed with this opus because it should have used that. It should have used the honeycomb. So maybe now let's try. But so now keep that and say now apply honeycomb design pattern.
Okay. Okay, overlapping is fixed. Now apply the honeycomb
structure
pattern or structure. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the thing, like with the design to code is a concept that has been around even before AI ages. Like no code, low code tools have been promising this for a long time, and people were actually encouraged to do design systems on every platform, and you were just given this to third-party companies that's out there to, I think like Storyblock or like a Storybook or Widgetbook or like many other companies out there were doing this. I think
so before AI coding assistants, right? We would, if let's say for example we're doing this game board pre AI, right?
Yeah.
How would we do it differently? Would we basically be handcrafting first of all a hexagon, then drawing the board out that way?
Look at this.
What?
I would just ask you, do you think this is correct?
Yeah, okay, let's do that. I think that's right.
Yeah. You did this. Do you think this is correct? So before AI size, we would do in multiple steps, of course. Like one thing would be, it depends on how you like it. Many tools, like for example, Figma, they actually come with generated code. So you would just copy and paste it as well. You don't even have to use an additional tool.
Right.
And what I would do is,
no, so I'm just looking as Akira as it's, so that prompt seemed to do well, right? It's not correct. It realized it wasn't correct, which is good, right? So the hexagons are still overlapping significantly. The vertical spacing is too tight. Looking at the reference honeycomb image you provided earlier, the hexagons should have clear gaps between them, not overlap. So maybe now this actually could maybe be the winner.
It's better, but it's still not there. I would do it again. I would say still not there.
Right. Can you upload multiple pictures in the prompt or just one?
You can. You can.
So let's put that picture in and then put the picture I sent earlier on.
All right.
As well. So we can say, for example, let
me do this thing. The picture above is the current state. It is still not what we want. What we design of.
It's the layout, isn't it? It's the layout of the tiles, basically.
Yeah. The design and of the layout for the game board that we want is below. And below, I just put the image. I hope it will go down. Let me see. Yes. So I think.
Okay.
Let's try it.
Because like I said, when I was initially doing this, I had exactly the same issues, right? But I wasn't using React. I was just using, I think it was just Bootstrap and just CSS, right? And it's exactly the same issues happened, right, with the overlaps and the alignments, and it just wouldn't work until I actually provide. I mean, I provided the hexagon, but I also provided annotations as well, right? So that it would know exactly what I wanted. So I'm hoping that a combination of the two will help us get the AI coding system in the right direction. Okay, right now I see the issue. Looking at the reference image, the hexagons are all pointy top, not flat top. Okay, actually that's a good point. I don't know if that that is okay. So maybe that's all it needed, right?
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I didn't know the term pointy top or flat top is a thing.
Exactly. I've learned that today. Pointy top.
Yeah.
So okay, but look, that's now still not right.
Yeah. Now update the board generation. Okay, it is still going. It's still going.
Still going. Right. Okay.
Let's. I shouldn't have put some spoilers into it. No. Come on, you
I
can
was
do
hoping
this.
that we would be able to do some back end stuff today, but maybe
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Maybe we'll do that on Thursday. So, folks, we'll be back on Thursday for our next episode. So I know we've still got some time today, but just in case, we will be continuing the saga of getting the AI coding system to understand how to build a game board for us.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't want to put you into spot in live stream, but if you have more time, we can a bit extend it.
Yeah, we can.
See.
That's totally. I mean, I've got time. I've got time. So
I would just like in the 1 hour mark, I would just get a quick coffee and we can continue because I want to move forward with this. And
I'm confident, Sally. I think this is it. I've got a good feeling. I don't know why.
Let's see. Nope.
What?
I mean,
But the thing is, though, it's still
still
pointy top. So this is what I don't understand. It's not actually done what it's supposed to do. It's still, it's still pointy top, which I thought it said it wasn't going to be pointy top. So that's a mystery to me. I don't know. I don't quite understand why it's gone. It should be flat top.
Yeah. I would say we should just tell it. I will just take a screenshot and say each column is. I think here's if I'm right, I don't want to be right, but if I'm right, maybe from its perspective, this is top, left side is top, and this is like right edge or something. So I would say when you look at the image, the pointy top is still there. Rotate the tiles to have flat top.
Okay.
When they are drawn, please and thank you. Maybe I need to be nicer, maybe I need to.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you need to bribe it. We'll give you some more credits if you do it correctly.
I see the reference image shows flat top hexagons. If you see it, why you are not doing it?
So yeah, I mean, this is interesting. I mean, I wonder if actually we can only provide images in the actual chat interface. Can we provide images and context on the file system as well? I mean, we could ask it. We could copy the file, right, and then say refer to this image as the reference, because this is what I've done, right? I created assets in an assets directory. I said I want the game board design to be look like this, so that it constantly read the file. So that's something that I've done in the past.
I mean, we can definitely have the file, like we can select a file. It doesn't. I don't think it has to be a text file. It can be anything. And we can put your design file even over here as well. Let's see if it's
Look at that. That is beautiful.
Yeah, how you like me now?
That is exactly that's the vision. Sally, you created it.
Oh my god. Finally. You see,
I mean, the start
you know what was the solution? It was the please and thank you. That was the solution.
Right, we're done now. God. That's it. That's finished.
Yeah, finally.
This is a thing of beauty. This is really good. I mean,
nice.
I think we're onto a good start here, right? This is now we've got. So apart from though, remember what we had? It needs to be center aligned. That's the only thing, right? It needs to be moved up, but it's actually got the right structure as well. So we've got 5 4 5 4 5 4. That's exactly what we wanted. So I'm very happy, Sally.
I'm happy. I'm very happy. You know what? Like, here's what I would recommend. I think right now we are in a good state. Next thing that we do is let's add click, answer, continue logic. Like the centering and so on. Let's continue later on. But what I would recommend is let's ask AI to generate like 30 questions.
So can I ask a question first though? So here's the thing, right? So we talked about as you go over them, you hover them, expand upwards, right? They kind of like have we got that effect? We have got that effect, right? We have, yeah. Okay, and we've got the audio effect. Do you hear audio?
No, I don't.
Right. Okay, we can do that. I guess we can do that later on as well. But now I think in the original design we also started talking about having avatars that show the player position,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Which we talked about. This was something that we added later on, right? So, should we do that because that's the design element, right? So, but the problem is that probably requires a whole bunch of logic we haven't really thought about yet, right? So,
think I would just wait for that. The reason is we still did not add the logic to have a user in it. Honestly, from my point of view, like right now, if we have the game in place and it just says like, it just showcases the right logic, then it's a good start. The next thing is we can have the user specific, user specific operations, right? We can have the avatar, we can have the username, like every detail on the screen that we see right now.
Yep.
In place as well. I mean, there are some things, of course, like I don't like right now. For example, why am I not filling the place that like I fill in the available place and so on? But we can focus on those fine tunings for a live stream, and it should be doable in like one stream as well. So right now, like since I'm very happy, I'm really excited with this, and my recommendation would be, you know what, like let's implement the gaming logic that you have. And like, for example, you can show your screen again for what you have envisioned, and let's pull that in and build that thing. Yeah.
So when you say the gaming logic, so you mean the game, the question screen. So are we going to continue building the question screens on the front end first, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just bring those up then.
Yeah.
Share screen.
So my plan is to have the game mechanics, not the game engine, but the game mechanics on the front end side in place.
Yeah. Okay.
And
so
we will ask AI to generate like 30. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
20 questions about tech and 10 questions about maybe popular culture to ask about like, you know.
Okay. So here's the here are just a recap on the screen, right? So basically, we've got the intro screen, which basically, you know, this is what the game board will replace, right? And that's pretty straightforward to do. And then we've got the high score screen. We've got this screen, which basically is where you start a new game, right? Which again, this is just text overlays or replaces the game board, right?
Yeah.
Then we've got like effectively we've got these tiles, right? These things that basically will appear randomly on the board. But again, I guess that's okay, that we can do that later on, right? The question screens. Okay, let's look at the question screens. So,
by the way, I see this as a logical next step. The power-ups thing, like game and the power-ups. Yeah.
Let's do that. So there's two types of question, right? So the first type of question is multiple choices, right? So we have basically the game board will be here, right? And we can either blank it out or leave it as it is. A question will appear with an option to copy to clipboard if, you know, they might not need it, but they might. A hint button, a pass button, and then the options, multiple choice, 4 options, okay, with a submit button. And it basically will tell you if you're correct. You'll get through. If it fails, it will return you back. It won't tell you the right answer, right? We don't want to do that. So that's kind of like, that's for multiple choices, right? And then for coding questions, this is where we replace the game board with an editor of some kind. And the question here is similar, where we have the question in open text. It can be code. Again, a copy clipboard, hint, pass, and submit are the same. But the editor will be obviously a very simplified editor, you know, like we saw in the Amazon Q developer challenge, so that, you know, you can type stuff in. And the questions, though, are going to be 2 types of question. There'll be coding questions where we ask you to create some code effectively to answer the question. But the other one is going to be general knowledge questions. So it might be, for example, what are the tell me what a Kiro agent hook is, right? And you will enter what you think it is in the editor, submit, and then in the back end we're going to be using generative AI to effectively see if that was a good response, right? So we're moving away from the deterministic, like multiple choice options, to creating more. Now we've actually tested this, right? We Danilo and myself, I vibe coded a kind of a quick prototype, and specifically this question was, tell me what Kiro agent hooks are. And then we tested lots of different scenarios. We tested, first of all, just one thing: IDE automation, right? Hit return, and the initial prompt failed that answer, even though it was technically correct, right? The summary we got was basically it was too short, not specific enough. So we tweaked the system prompt to allow short answers as well, and then it answers. So the idea is that with those general knowledge questions, during the evaluation, it was going to grade it over from 0 to 100, right? Using a set of criteria, which obviously we're not going to share. And that criteria will if you get over, I think 50%, will mark the question correctly. If you get over 70%, you get more points, right? So the better the question answered, the more points you get. So, but the actual look and feel of it, right, is the same. So we have effectively two UIs, right, which we have to build. I think this one is simpler because all we're doing is replacing the right-hand panels. This one, we're replacing the game board as well with the editor. So those are the two things. So does that make sense, Ali?
I mean, the coding and general knowledge questions. I mean, for coding, I think the editor in question makes sense, but the general knowledge questions, it seems like it can be like, since it's not going to be a paragraph, it could be.
It could be.
Because they're going to be able to copy and paste them.
Exactly, they can copy paste, and we've got effectively the copy to clipboard for that reason, right? So they can use Kiro to help them answer questions, right?
Yeah. Okay, then I think we're good. I think one thing that I would ask right now is to download those PNGs and send it over to me.
Okay,
and
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that now. Yep, I'm going to do. Actually, I think I might even already have those assets. So let me just see if I've got those assets. No, I don't. I'm going to just do that. So do you want me to remove the annotations as well? Because I've got
no. Let's keep everything.
Okay.
No, let's keep everything because I will explain it. Those are annotations.
Okay.
And yeah, basically I will ask Kiro to
so multiple quest
do this for me. Yeah.
So Kiro quest, multiple choice, screen. Let's do that, and then the next one will be the same. Export. Gosh, I didn't realize that I'd be using PowerPoint as a design tool. I'm sure there are better tools. Maybe folks who are better versed in this will be able to tell us. General and code question screen. Right. Okay. Export. Right. So I've got those two now. I'm going to send them to you, Sally, through the medium of of Slack, that well-known alternative to Dropbox.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I've sent those to you, Sally. So you should be able to get those. So just to recap, we're going to basically the game will have effectively two. When you click on a tile, this is what's going to appear: either one of the multiple choice questions, or the editor or general questions. Okay.
Did you send it to me? I didn't receive it.
Oh, you didn't receive it. Maybe I've got to hit. Well, do you know why? It would help if I actually send. It's the basic things that we get wrong or forget to do.
But that is the user test. Like you can, every user, including professionals, they make mistakes.
Yeah,
and
totally.
They actually do more. Like I do more mistakes than average person, I think.
We all do. It's healthy. I mean, so one of the interesting things, okay, is that I actually do spend a lot more time now in a design tool, and whatever design tool that is. It could be pen and paper, it could be PowerPoint, it could be something else, right? And one of the things that's interesting, okay, is that as you start designing this out, okay, you start thinking about your application, what you want to build, and that then leads you to creating important artifacts that you're going to need later on. So when we do the back end, we are going to need a data model. Data models are fantastic context and foundation for AI coding assistants. And so having this structure, okay, as we start building out the design, we can start actually thinking, well, what does our data model need to have? So we won't be doing this now, but later on when we come to this is why, you know, design is more than just front end, okay? Design is actually getting you to think about what you need in the back end as well, right? And helping you to create artifacts that will help you sort of, or provide the guardrails really that you need for the AI coding assistant to create stuff that you can use rather than make the stuff it makes up.
That is why we have drawn every. I mean, you have drawn because you've seen already my drawing. You wouldn't have anything, but
I'm saying nothing, Sally. I'm saying nothing.
Yeah.
Your drawing skills are just too ahead of the curve. You know, you're just too avant-garde, right? So
it is too good. It's too good for my time right now. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Some artists, they're not appreciated in their times. I'm one of them.
Yeah. Actually, another thing as well. When I was thinking about the back end and what it's going to look like, especially in React, in the fact as we glue the front end React to the back end, right? One of the things that we're going to do is create effectively an admin tool, okay, that's going to allow us to add and edit questions. But because to make it easier, right, for us to understand what the core API calls are going to look like to the API engine, we're going to add a feature in this that allows you to show the API call, so that we can then take that and use that with the stuff you're doing to kind of glue the two together, right?
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to stop sharing because I think you probably have got your images ready to go.
Yeah, everything is good right now. Where we're at is basically, I just pulled this in. We will start with the multiple choice question, and I will go step by step and explain everything. And if I miss something, you will also let me know, of course.
Of course, that's why I'm here. That's my job, right? This is what pair programming is about.
So when I talk to AI, I always say, like, we have a vision, we have envisioned this, and so on. So it knows that this is our goal and this is our desire to. Yeah.
So I think here what we're saying, okay, is that when we click on a game tile, right, it's gonna look. It's gonna. There'll be one of three types of question.
Yeah.
Or actually, it's two, isn't it? Because we're creating two screens. So
yeah,
we're gonna create different questions, and these different questions require different screens to enter the questions, right? So the first type of question will be multiple choice. That's easy. So we can start with the multiple choice, and then describe this is what the layout looks like. Okay, we're keeping the game board where it is, but the layout structure will be what you currently have will change to look like the picture.
Yeah, I think right now, like the reason. Right now, I'm not going to talk about the other question types. The reason is I want to have multiple choice questions, and I want to go through a game to see if the gaming mechanism works.
So basically, just treating it as this is the same type for everything.
Exactly.
Right,
but I will say, like, in the future we will have different types, so it will add multiple choice as.
So is that so? I'm interested in your logic and thinking there. Is that because you think that that's just a more effective way to do this, or is there another reason why you want to just kind of get this feature done before we move on to the next one, kind of thing? Or
here's what when I think about thing? No, this is solid thing. So it doesn't matter what I like if I was doing like back end or front end. But here's what I think. When I think of software development, I always think about the classic SDLC and like moving forward with Scrum, meaning that after every iteration, I need to have something that is working and that is meaningful and so on. And it should give the impression of the product that we are trying to build or that we are going to build. And right now we have the board in place and we can go from the left side to the right side, start to the finish of it directly. If I add every question type here, and tell the AI to build a system to go through these, it is going to showcase the question types that we do not support as a text or as part of the UI, and we will not be able to go from left to the right and finish the game.
Right.
But if we tell right now that we want to do multiple choice, however, there will be more question types that we will add later, we can generate the multiple choice questions, and the questions will dedicate itself, and from the more questions that we will ask soon AI to be generated, we will be able to still play the game. And my goal is to play the game and move forward with this
Yep,
as
I'm,
fast as
I'm with you
possible.
now. I'm with you. That makes sense to me. Yep, absolutely.
All right, so here's what I will do. Right now, I will say, first of all, the game board looks great now. So we tell it that this is great, do not touch it. We will be angry. Next thing that we will do is to implement the gaming mechanism. Here are the features of the game. First, there can be multiple question types. Right now, we will start with the multiple choice. Okay, here's a question. Do you want to have multiple choice, multiple selection, or multiple choice, single selection?
Multiple choice, single selection.
Okay.
Let's keep it simple.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think, yeah, yeah, let's definitely keep it simple like that. But I know what you mean. There's sometimes it's always a case of click all that are suitable, right? And that makes it slightly harder. So yeah, I think that's an interesting one. I haven't really even thought about that. So
the question, yeah. Sorry, like right now I'm saying the questions will have a question text, of course. Or do you want AI to take it out of the design? What do you want to do? Should I tell it, or do you want AI to take it from the design?
I think we should go from the design.
All right. For generating the data type and properties, use the design image that is shared with you. Use the design image to also design the flow, not design the flow, but design the UI components of the question.
Yep.
Game flow will be as follows. User, I will do this one. User will click on the tile. Question component will be shown. If the answer is correct, user will proceed with the next level.
Next move. Not next level. Next move.
Next move.
Next move.
If the answer is wrong, the user will be shown an image of their failure.
Yes. Sure. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
We'll be shown a suitable GIF.
Yeah.
An animated GIF.
Fail window. Should we show the Kira slam?
Yes, I think we should.
Yeah. Fail window.
Let's make them feel really bad about themselves.
Yeah. We wanna gaslight them. Okay.
We don't.
No. These are jokes. No. Earlier, what you said? Friendly banter. Okay.
Exactly.
All of these are our like friendly conversations.
So the user will be shown a fail window and then be returned to the game board. I think that's what we want, because they might want to change, move to a different tile, right?
But like, do we want them to continue after they fail?
So if they fail a question, they go back to the game board. They click on a tile, then it repeats. The loop repeats, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so that to me, it seems to be the flow. Unless you want to describe the question board and the hints and the passes and all that kind of stuff. I don't think you want to do that here, do you? Because
No, I wanted the AI to understand it, but I want to go back to the topic of like, so I start the game and I fail a question.
Yep.
Do you think that I should be able to still continue playing the game? Like, I think
Yeah,
if I
totally,
fail, I
totally.
fail.
So because the thing is, though, otherwise people are going to get stuck, right? So what would happen, okay, is that there's got to be a consequence for a bad, incorrect answer, right? So the consequence, okay, is going to be they're going to lose points and lose time. So having the image is going to cost them time, right? And then they'll be returned back to the game tile. And obviously, because we're going to have a bank of questions, they're not necessarily going to get the same question again. So it's always going to be, every question will be pulled from a random selection of questions. So it doesn't mean that they're going to get the same question again.
So what I see then, like, so if I go back, for example, I click, if I have a wrong answer, I think this should be, how to say, like faded out,
It's
and I
like what
should
you got
be
now.
okay.
So basically, but okay, but you shouldn't move. So in the current logic you got there, okay.
Yeah.
When you selected the wrong answer, you've still moved to that tile. You shouldn't move.
Yeah.
You should stay where you are.
Yeah.
So the stuff that you,
exactly.
You can only move tile if you've got the question correct.
Yeah, I think, yeah, exactly. But so, for example, I selected the wrong answer, so I can click here, and if I say correct, I can still continue. But this question, and for example, this is a connected one, it's already gone.
No, that's not. No, so you got the tick question right. So that's where you start from. Okay. So any playable question around the tick, is allowed, right? And actually, because the strategy element is that you might not want to go far. You might not want to go straight across, right? You might decide to go up, down, up, down, up, down to get more questions, to get more points, right? So that's up to the player to decide. But we've got to define the rules of what they can and where they can't go. So that's one thing. So interestingly, I think I can see an issue here already with the logic. So the question you currently got right with the one with the tick in its second tick, you should be able to go in the square below, but it's grayed out. So why is that?
Okay,
that's not correct, right?
That is a game logic that the AI master lords generated.
So you got it there. So now I came across exactly this issue, right?
Yeah.
I came across this issue when I was doing a prototype of this, and it was we probably need to address this.
Yeah.
Probably before we dive into the actual screen layout. So unfortunately, we've already kind of got into this. But we've noticed that there's some issues with the. I mean, or we can try fixing it afterwards. I don't know. Maybe I guess they're separate things. So let's carry on because we've already started. But we've spotted a bug, so we need to fix it. Right?
I wrote so many things, man. I'm not going back.
Yeah, exactly.
I wrote so many things here.
Exactly.
I'm just going to send this, and what I will do next though is like, I understand what you mean. Right now, here's what AI did. So if I come closer to the screen, you can see that it created some paths alongside here. These paths are supposed to be the relations among the tiles. For example, this, as you see, like this made a connection with the green tiny thing below. So what they did is first it created the relations, and on top as a stack, as an overlay, created this. So we just need to make sure that there's also a vertical connection happening as well. So I think it's not a complicated problem, but we have to solve it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I see that problem as being easily solvable because when I had this, I got to a stage where the logic actually was just a slightly bit. They missed out, I think, one of the key one line, and that was all it needed to be fixed, right? So, and this is separate from actually what you are allowed to. So clicking something should bring up a question, but it's not related to actually where you're allowed to click. So two pieces of logic, hopefully. But I think you're right. We're too far down the prompt.
I have written so much, man. I have written so much. I have to I have to make my make the most out of it. One thing that I'm afraid of right now is it's like the gaming logic is going to work, but it's not going to be what we want it to be. Because like I see it creates models, and generally models mean they're overlays. Oh. And the overlays are generally not the best like approach or like close approach to what we have here. We wanted this to be a part of the screen, and we wanted the right pane to be actually replaced here.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is not working right now in that sense.
So you're using your knowledge of React to understand that, right?
Yeah, I mean, like with the design systems and so on. So basically, models are generally the interactive elements on screen that would shown as image or like bottom overlays and so on and so forth. So I'm really.
So just thinking about that. So if you're coming to, let's say for example, we're starting from scratch, right? Again, would creating or providing some layout screens initially, right, had helped? Does that help AI coding assistants when they're working React to understand the best approaches, or do you still have to kind of guide it?
I mean, yes and no. I think it's overall with AI coding assistant. At the end of the day, if you give more context, it will know more, right? And in here, I see the steering files as a great AI component over here. Like if I had a code base already, what I would do is I would just generate that steering files and give this as a manual, not automatic, like not always trigger string files, but actually string files that would allow the AI assistant to get context about what we want to build as soon as possible. So I refresh just in case. I click. Okay. I mean, this is not what we wanted, but we want this to be shown on the right side, right?
But it's actually.
Let me see if it copied. Oh, okay, copy works.
Okay.
Hint works as well. Let me make it bigger.
What is the cross? It's got a cross there. Does that mean does it close the question? The top right?
Yeah, exactly. This X is to close the question.
So we don't want that, do we? Though, because that seems like it reverts you back, which we don't want.
No, we want what we want is we don't even want this. We want this question to be replaced in the right side.
Yeah.
So this.
I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's like.
I really like your optimism. You're like, it's not the worst thing in the world, but
yeah. And maybe maybe for some questions this is okay, right?
Yeah.
But
I think maybe for the first, like, what is a, let's say, hard question? It says, what is the output of the following code? For example, like let me try something and inspect. And let me cheat. A is not defined. No. Like they don't have to always go to the thing, go to the AI, they can just run things here as well. But it actually gave a reference error. You see?
I see.
Like, let's see. Correct. Who would have known? You see, like, it's not actually a bug, it's a feature. Like the question was wrong on purpose, But anyway, so we see a few problems here, right? The first problem is the question needs to be, but like I want to do a wrong answer. For example, let me, for single line. Okay, this is wrong. So this takes me back to the board and I cannot answer the next question. It says select another one.
Good.
Yeah. So I variable cannot be assigned. I wonder what it could be. Let me take a hint. Yeah, like here's the fun part. Of course, I would like to play the game as well, but like here's the fun part of this. It created out of JavaScript and TypeScript questions because the project is TypeScript. But one thing that I want to do is I want to bring your vision into this. So that's why let's reiterate it. I like what it did, and I'm going to tell like, hey, like great job on what you did, but what I want is I want the right side to be replaced with the question, so there is no model or dialogue or overlay. All right, but I think the gaming logic is even shaping up as well, so that's good.
I mean, I guess there's always going to be, when you're doing these kind of activities, right? There's always going to be a deviance to a certain degree of what you maybe had in as documented in our design versus what actually it comes out with. And as long as they're, and sometimes that's a good thing, right? Sometimes, I mean, because like that wasn't actually what I'd envisaged, but actually, no, I think it might it might be better actually, right? But I kind of like. Only insofar as that you get more real estate, okay, to answer the question.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things about being open to the design. Now, obviously, there are going to be times when that's not going to work, right? When you're working with very very tight constraints or specifications, where you actually have to be concrete, right, about actually how and what it looks like. So I think you have to use your judgment as a developer.
Yeah, 100%. Here's the thing, though. Like, we have to understand the fact that in here, our instructions are main drivers, right? And our instructions were quite basic and quite driven by the image that we shared. So from the perspective, I'm not the AI's advocate here, but from the perspective of AI, it actually didn't know much about it, and it tried to give the most logic from the knowledge that it has.
Yeah,
so I really like overall the behavior. But okay, question to you: do you want to keep the dialogue? We can make it non-dismissible.
I think we should try and stick to the design, right? Not necessarily because it's the right thing, but because we want to show people how you would approach this, right? If you were doing it. Now I'm just conscious of the time. So I think it's coming up to 2:00 UK time, so probably 3:00 your time, Sally. So I think maybe what we should do is use this as an opportunity to wrap up. And then continue this on Thursday, right? So so where we are at the moment, we've now got a game board design that looks right, and we're starting to implement the question kind of logic. The first iteration worked, but didn't actually kind of like work with what we wanted. So we're going to go basically in the next episode on Thursday. We're going to kind of like start from there and see how we can then implement the design that we had provided it. So that's what we're going to be doing on Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. And I really like where we are right now, like at least with the tile and so on, and the changes. Some changes are seriously more easier if we can do it, like if we use the coding. But right now we are doing full stack for noobs, meaning that we will find our way as if we don't know what we are doing. So instead of going and like changing a component with a logical expression to showcase this if, showcase if that, we are just going and saying that, hey, it doesn't look good. Your model is good, but just pull that into the right place. But anyway, I think we're in a good state. I think we're in a really good state. Nice.
And actually, one thing that I also do when I'm working on projects is I keep a markdown document in the project, which has almost like a issues log, right? And I use this just to keep track of the stuff that I need to go back to, just so you don't forget. So we know we've got some issues with the allowed tile selection, which we'll come back to later on. And so we'll be doing that once we've got the kind of the question screens up and running and okay. We'll be coming back to that. So with that, Sally, I shall see you on Thursday. We'll hopefully see some of the folks who have dialed in. Again, if you've been following along and trying to create your own version of this game, drop us a message, and we'd love to show your versions of this. And with that, I think Sally, see you Thursday.
Yeah, man. See you Thursday. And luckily, I don't have any dentist appointments, so I should be on time.
Well, I'll be in the office on Thursday, so my backdrop will be different, but yeah, I'll see you then. So, folks,
all right,
see you Thursday.
Take care, everyone.
Peace out.